You know this insect, right? It's that little symbol of good luck, a welcome sight in any garden. But what if I told you that its charming little look, well, it hides a secret, a life that's way more brutal and, honestly, way more helpful than you could ever imagine. Let's get into the real story of the garden's secret weapon.
So you see it crawling on a leaf, maybe you even let it walk on your hand. It just seems so cute, so harmless. But that tiny spotted jewel is actually one of the most efficient and, yeah, ruthless predators in the entire insect kingdom.
That's right. Forget good luck for a second. The ladybug is a living pesticide. It's a tireless little guardian for your garden, working for you for free, 24/7.
So which one is it? Is it this gentle little garden friend or a fierce predator? Well, the answer, as we're about to see, is it's both. And that double life is exactly what makes it such an amazing ally for us. Okay, first, a quick little correction. A ladybug isn't technically a bug at all, it's actually a beetle. And its main job in the garden ecosystem, to be a voracious predator. Its favorite foods are the exact pests that love to destroy our plants. Aphids, mites, and mealybugs. So this kind of reframes the whole picture, doesn't it? On one hand, we see this cute, harmless little bug. The reality? It's a brutal, efficient predator. We think of it as just a sign of luck, but really, it's a vital part of a healthy garden. And get this, it's not just one type of bug. There are over 5,000 different species of these beetles all over the world. The journey to becoming that familiar spotted beetle is, well, it's a super dramatic 4-stage transformation that most of us never even get to see. And every single stage plays a huge role in the garden's ecosystem. So here it is, the whole transformation. It all starts as a tiny yellow egg, which is laid super strategically right next to a future food source. Then, from that egg hatches a larva, and this thing is an alligator-like eating machine. After just stuffing itself, it goes into the pupa stage to transform, and finally it emerges as the adult beetle we all know and love. And this incredible transformation, it happens surprisingly fast. I mean, the eggs hatch in just a few days. The larva spends the next 3 to 4 weeks doing pretty much nothing but eating and growing. The pupa stage lasts about a week or two, and then the adult beetle can live for about a year, just continuing that whole cycle. But here is the most important takeaway about their life cycle. We love the adult ladybug, right? But we almost always miss its most powerful stage. In fact, a lot of gardeners might even see this larva and mistakenly think it's some kind of pest they need to get rid of. The larva looks absolutely nothing like the adults. It's often described as a tiny alligator. It's spiky, it's dark, and it looks totally formidable. From the second it hatches, its only mission is to gorge itself on pests. This is the true hero of AphidControl. All right, if that life cycle wasn't amazing enough, the abilities of this tiny beetle are nothing short of superpowers. I mean, the sheer scale of their impact is just mind-boggling. Just think about this number for a second. 5,000. That's how many aphids a single adult ladybug can eat in its lifetime. That is a staggering amount of pest control from one tiny little beetle. But remember that little alligator larva? It puts the adult to shame. A single larva can devour up to 50 aphids per day. It's consuming its own body weight in pests every day. That is a level of pest control that is it's unmatched. And our physical abilities are just as impressive. To hunt so effectively, a ladybug beats its wings 85 times every second. It's a tiny, high-performance biological machine. So how does such an effective predator avoid becoming prey itself? Well, it has this brilliant built-in defense system. Their bright colors are basically a giant warning sign that says, "Do not eat me." They taste terrible to birds because they can ooze this foul fluid from their leg joints. If they're threatened, they can play dead, or even pull their head into their body, just like a turtle. Okay, so we know they're amazing. Now for the practical part. How do we get more of these little allies into our gardens? It's not really about buying them in a box. It's about creating an environment where they actually want to live and hunt and, raise a family. Ladybugs are really attracted to specific kinds of flowers that give them the pollen and nectar they need as adults. So think about flat-topped flowers like dill, yarrow, and cilantro. They also love pollen-rich flowers like marigolds and cosmos. Planting these is basically like rolling out a giant welcome mat for them. Making a ladybug-friendly habitat is surprisingly simple. It's about providing the basics, right? A little shallow water source, some shelter for the winter, but the don'ts are actually even more important. The biggest mistake you can make is using any kind of pesticide. And don't panic at the first sign of a few aphids. That's not a problem. That's the dinner bell ringing for your ladybug allies.
Now, there's one super crucial point of confusion we have to clear up. Not every beetle that looks like a ladybug is the beneficial friend we've been talking about. There's an invasive lookalike that you really need to be able to identify.
The key difference is all in the head. The invasive Asian lady beetle is usually larger and a bit more aggressive, but the easiest way to tell is by the white markings on its cheeks and this very distinct white M shape right behind its head. Our helpful native ladybugs, they just have a plain black head.
And this all brings us to the core idea of organic gardening. The goal isn't some sterile, totally pest-free yard. That's just unnatural, and you'll never get there. The real goal is a balanced ecosystem, where the good insects are empowered to keep the pest populations in check, all on their own.
So let's just recap what we've learned. First, the ladybug is a powerful predator, not just some cute decoration. Second, its little alligator-like larva is the garden's true pest-eating hero. Third, you can actively attract these allies with the right plants and garden habits. And finally, the single most important thing you can do is avoid all pesticides so they can thrive. So that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. Is your garden just a plot of land you own, or is it a living, breathing ecosystem? By understanding and supporting creatures like the ladybug, you can become less of a gardener and more of a steward for that tiny, complex world right outside your door.